2020 was vastly different in the ways we consumed energy. For instance, global carbon emissions fell 10%, partly due to how much less we traveled. I spoke with the University of Iowa Office of Sustainability to find out how the pandemic has changed our environmental footprint and how we can continue to have a lifestyle that is beneficial for the environment.
My name is Stratis, Giannakouros, and I direct the Office of Sustainability and the Environment at the University of Iowa.
And I'm Beth, Mackenzie, and I'm a program manager in the Office of Sustainability and the Environment.
Dorms at the University of Iowa have not been able to recycle due to COVID-19 health measures, but what other changes can we see?
On campus, we can say we're seeing kind of an increase in these single-use disposable items, a decrease of waste in the more general academic buildings.
Maybe you're consuming more energy at home, or maybe you're driving less. So on the University of Iowa's campus, they still need to heat and cool buildings, regardless of if there's 30 people there or 10 people there. The built infrastructure is just designed to eat carbon, whether we're there or not.
But what has changed on the home front? Well, the general trend has pushed consumers from shopping locally to using online services such as Amazon. This can have a larger carbon footprint compared to shopping at stores closer to your home.
If you look at vehicle miles traveled for Amazon, and the boxing and the packaging and distribution centers and all of the embedded carbon, that goes into a package coming to your door. But then another little, understood fact is that sustainability really is about communities too, right? And so when those tax dollars leave local communities and they go to a retailer like Amazon, who doesn't pay local taxes per se, that hurts the local economy. And so just changes in how people spend can have an impact on how we might have money in, say, Iowa City for restoring landscapes or park projects.
Another big responsibility of consumers is to be mindful of their waste, and a big way to do that is to compost.
Yeah, so it's food scraps, right? It's all the food that you produce, whether it's pre-consumer, like you're cutting an onion up all the peels, or after it's food you don't eat. You can give to the city will compost it out of their landfill.
The 2017 Waste Characterization Study, a measure of the components of waste in Iowa, revealed that
organics was the largest component in the state of Iowa. Just food waste by itself is 20%.
So there shouldn't really be food waste coming out of our homes in Iowa City. I think that's a great thing that everyone could do. It's pretty easy.
What's great about composting is that you can do it right in your backyard too. The organic matter will turn into a soil that you can use for gardens. But food waste isn't the only thing we have to keep in mind. Recycling, and even more importantly, reducing plastic production are great too. 90 to 97% of the impact of plastics happens before we throw it away, from manufacturing, extracting materials, and transportation.
The story ends up being that recycling isn't closed loop. It's not capturing even a fraction of our waste stream that should be recycled. But we really have to redesign our products to be less permanent in the environment and also consume less, the stuff that we don't need. The projections are that we'll be consuming twice as much single-use plastic in 10 years.
This is partly due to the change in car fuels. As we move into the age of electric vehicles, petroleum companies are producing more single-use plastic items as an economic measure. And it's up to us to combat this.
So I think it is at a community by community level, citizens asking for policies around, net zero greenhouse gas emissions for changes in corporations to push and demand as a society that there are rules and policies around how we consume.
Now it's time to get involved. What's the best way to approach these problems?
Focusing less on the problems and more on the solutions. Figuring out maybe one or two or maybe 3 big picture projects, ideas, whatever the case may be for your local community. We talk about a bazillion things and they don't know what to focus on. So really narrowing the focus and focusing on the solution rather than the problem is my advice.